Hello and welcome. My name is Danny, and today we're going to be building a road trip simulator. And to be more specific, the part of the road trip that we are actually going to be simulating is the part where you have somebody in the car with you, usually a small child, that is incessantly asking the same annoying questions over and over and over again, like, are we there yet? And we're going to be doing this using NodeJS TypeScript as well as socket.io. So obviously this project has absolutely zero utility. So while I hope you enjoy, I hope you also don't really learn anything. So let's get started. And let's call this project Road Trip Simulator. And let's enter our directory here and yarn init -y to answer yes to all the questions. And let's also now create our tsconfig file and open this up in VS Code. Now I'm just going to get rid of all this and paste in just a random config. Our out directory is dist and our root directory is source. So let's go ahead and create that while we're here. All right, and let's also add TypeScript as a dev dependency. And I also want to add concurrently, as well as socket.io and socket.io-client. I think that's all the dependencies that we're going to need for this project. Okay, we're also going to make some new directories. And also some new files. Oopsies. Index.ts. Okay. So I've just made this client folder and this server folder, and we'll have an index and a server file. So basically our server is going to be where our WebSocket server will be, and client is obviously where our WebSocket client is going to be. So let's just stick, console.log hello world client, and we're just going to copy that, and hello world server. We're going to go in here and we're just going to add some scripts. So the first one we need is watch, which is going to hot reload our TypeScript transpiler. We also want serve server, which is going to use NodeMon, which you'll need to download as a dev dependency if you don't have it globally installed. And this is going to look in dist/server/server.js. And we also want a serve client NodeMon dist/client-index.js. And we'll just say okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have one basic command called, sorry, my phone is ringing there, one basic command called serve, or maybe start. And this is going to use concurrently to spin up both our transpiler as well as any of our serve commands, which we can do using that star there to match. And then we can just see if this works. Yarn start. Okay, let's just try that again, just because sometimes it's a little funny. Yeah, there we go. So hello world's client and hello world server. And so if we go here and do that, we can see that it all seems to work, no problem. So let's start with our server here. So we are going to import server from socket.io, and then we're going to give ourselves a nice little self-invoking function just to kick things off. And here I'm going to go, well, we have the documentation open here because we don't have to actually memorize what we need to do, so we'll just take a quick peek here. So IO, new server, and we're going to want the on commands. Okay. So const IO equals new server, port 3000, and we're going to go IO to on connection, or socket, and then we're going to socket dot emit connected, successfully connected. Okay, and then let's copy this. So this is basically the event that we're going to emit, and then we're going to have our client catch it. So we're going to go, import IO from socket client. Have another self-invoking function here. And we're going to go and take a quick peek. So const socket, oopsies, is equal to IO, and then WebSocket localhost dot colon 3000. Okay, and then socket dot on, right, socket dot on connected. We're gonna catch the message here as the argument, and we're just gonna console.log arg. Okay, so if this all worked properly, yeah, you can see that we connected, and so we console.log from here. As you can see, that's coming from the client. Okay, so the next step is going to be pretty straightforward. Is we want to now, at a random interval, we want to emit an event that's going to contain a phrase being said by our disgruntled passenger. So we are going to create a function called askQuestion. We are going to call askQuestion, and then in here we're going to use a timeout at a specified interval, a randomly allocated interval actually, and then at the end we're going to call askQuestion again, so that this kind of just keeps looping through until we shut it off. So we probably then want to use interval as an argument, and then we want to start with a random interval up here that we initialize. Okay, and then because we want it in milliseconds, we'll do that. And then we'll pass the random interval here. And then in here, we're just going to set timeout, which is going to be triggered on our interval. And then in here, we are going to io.emit. Let's just call it phrase. And we'll start with are we there yet? And then we want to just copy this. Of course, we should probably put this into a function, so that we can avoid reusing code like this or repeating code like this, but it doesn't really matter for our purposes. And then we'll just ask the question again with our new randomly generated interval. So then our child here, hopefully that won't be too small to see, we're going to have another listener, socket.onPhrase. And once again, this handler could be probably extract it into a function, but too lazy to do that right now. Let's see how it goes. Okay, great. So it seems to be working at least once. There we go. See it a second time. And I'm not going to bother timing it, but I'm going to guess that based on how long I've been talking, this time is pretty random. Not longer than 10 seconds, I don't think. Okay, so but as much as we want this to be kind of annoying, we can probably get a little bit more out of this little project. So we're going to create a random phrases array, and let's see, are we there yet? And so we'll randomly return one of these phrases instead of just the hard-coded are we there yet? I'm bored. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. So our passenger is singing. This is the song that never ends. And I think that should probably be enough, and I apologize for, we can, just because this is going to drive me nuts. Okay. So now we can, within our set timeout, we'll have our random phrases interval, or not interval, sorry, index as math.floor, math.random, let's see, math.random times the random phrases dot length -1, because we don't want to get a number that's well, because arrays are 0 indexed in JavaScript. And actually, we can close this for now. So that's why we're minusing or subtracting 1 there, and then we are going to pass here random phrases at our random phrases index, and let's see how that goes. Okay, maybe that 2 in a row is just a fluke. We hope. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we're getting back to random phrases. We can make this list as long as we wanted. We can modify the timing interval, whatever we wanted to do, but there you have it. We have our road trip simulator simulating our passenger that is asking us all of these really annoying questions, so that next time you think about going on a road trip, especially probably with, little cousins or nephews or nieces, maybe this application will help you think twice. But other than that, zero utility. And so once again, I hope you enjoyed, but I really hope that you didn't learn anything. All right, see you next time.